The Mega Millions jackpot is now $1.1 billion. And this morning we've been talking about what you would do if you won the jackpot. Y'all have been sending in a lot of comments. Buy my house, pay off debt, help my family. We've had a lot of those. I'd help people that need it. I would buy my own island. Well, with that kind of money, you could, that's for sure. Besides having fun with it, I donate to a lot of dog rescues. A lot of people say they would donate to organizations or start their own organization. It's really neat to see. So when you go to the office today, you might even be asked to join a lottery pool where a group of your friends go in on a bunch of tickets hoping to win.
And if it happens and you do win, how does that work? Our 9 News legal analyst, Whitney Traylor, is here to explain. Whitney, good morning.
Good morning.
First of all, office pools, are they even legal?
Well, it's a good question. It depends on the state you're in. So in Colorado here, yes, they are essentially legal, and it's actually the lotto system is actually put into our Constitution. So some states don't allow it. So that part's not as tricky. The tricky part is what happens when you do office pool and you win. And there's lots of horror stories and issues with legalities around that for sure.
I was going to ask you about that. Have you heard of horror stories and what happened?
Yes, I've heard of horror stories, and they turn out a lot of different ways because essentially what you're talking about is a contract. And sometimes people don't put these contracts in writing, these agreements, and that's what people actually suggest you should do. So there was one case, for example, where they were pooling their money, and the guy who was buying the tickets, well, he said he had to take an extended leave because he needed foot surgery. So it turns out they found out a few weeks later he won $38 million. And so they sued him and they won their money. But there's other cases where there was a case where 12 people, Gary's thinking about how would Corey treat this?
Yeah, right?
Corey,
I would not
no foot
do
surgery,
that.
right. No, but there was another case where 12 people went in, they called themselves the Dirty Dozen. They won and they were happy to share it with each other, but then 11 other folks said, well, we were part of the group too. So they got a part of the settlement. So all these issues come up. So they strongly recommend that you get a contract, you put it in writing. In fact, the lottery has a document. So if you do this, you put everybody's name and you identify it. And so, because the issue is somebody's got the tickets. And so there's things that you should do, like copy the tickets, make sure everybody gets it. You're keeping records, those kind of things.
I've been in dozens of those pools. We've never, ever done that. It's like, yeah.
And that's the issue.
Good thing you've only
But we've
won
never
$3.
won either.
Right. And that's the thing, because it's such a remote chance, nobody's thinking, hey, let's get this in writing. And a lot of times, folks, this is for any kind of agreement. Even if it doesn't have to be in writing to be enforceable, you can still send an email to just memorialize your understanding so somebody says, well, this isn't what I understood, and it's in writing.
Okay.
And, yeah.
All right, let's talk about something else. So
Yes.
if you do win, there's 2 choices. You can take the lump sum, which is about half $1 billion, or, not bad. Right. Or you can take the annuity, which is the whole $1 billion, but it's spread out over time.
Yes.
Either way, you got to pay taxes, right?
That's exactly right. So it's income tax. So on the federal side, over, I think, $5,000 is 24%. And here in Colorado, we pay 4%. So you're looking at 28% taxes, too. And the issue with the spread out over time, it's usually about 30 years, and people are concerned, is there going to be money 20 years from now and these kind of things. So most people take the lump sum.
And also, we should point out that if you do take the annuities and you die before it pays out, it does go to your heirs. So that is a good thing. A lot of people are like, oh, it just goes away. I'm like, no, it goes to family at least.
Exactly.
Okay. Last question. What happens if someone loses the winning ticket?
Well, then they're going to be real unhappy, first of all, okay? But the legal response is it's like cash. So if you don't sign the back of it and put your address on it, if somebody finds that, anybody can file the claim. So sign your tickets and address them, yes. So all of these things have happened. The reason why we have a body of law is because these fact patterns have happened and courts have decided them.
Yeah, I think
that would be me. I would put it away for safety and forget where I put it.
Right? You put it in such a safe spot, you forget where you put it, right?
Yeah.
But I think the biggest piece of information there is I don't think a lot of people knew that there was something on the Lotto website that makes it easier.
Yeah, it just makes it easier. It's just a document to say how much they paid, when, did they actually pay. So, Corey, if you're in the pool, you got to pay first, before you get the tickets. So, and this is to document it. So,
Okay.
there you go.
Whitney, thank you. By the way, Whitney will also be co-moderating a debate for Colorado Attorney General. The debate is happening on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock at the Community College of Aurora. Candidates are current Democratic Attorney General Phil Weiser and his Republican opponent John Kellner, who is currently the district attorney for the 18th Judicial District, which covers Arapahoe, Douglas, Elbert, and Lincoln counties. Whitney, along with his co-moderator Maisha Fields, will also ask questions submitted by people in the community. So if you'd like to ask a question or register or attend, we have details in an article on our website at 9news.com with a link where you can do that.